Hello beer tubers, welcome to a little on the road vlog with
Lasse.
You saw him at Wacken, you've seen him in a few reviews, but we're at a beer tasting. I thought I'd do an on the road vlog, kind of beer tasting with some food with Mikkeller. And so we're going to be tasting 10 different Mikkeller beers. We're going to have some, I think it's chili con carne, and then, you know, have a good time, have some fun. We'll do some tasting notes on the beer and, you know, try a new on the road vlog. Maybe shoot some extra footage of what we do later in the day.
Yeah, because we'll probably end up in the city anyways.
Yeah, and we haven't done something like this in a while, so it'll be fun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
let's get drunk on craft beer and have a good time. See you guys
in a minute. Yeah. Cheers. See you. So we're at the Mckellar tasting at Vinspecialisten today. For some reason we have the food first, which is chili con carne. What do you think, Stefan?
Sucks.
What do you think, Lasse?
It doesn't have a lot of flavor in it. So my mom is pretty much bitter.
Maybe it was good we put extra chili on top. Let's dig in. So guys, this is the first beer of the Mckellar tasting. It's the Mckellar Vegetable Pilsner. It's one of the beers that they serve at their bars in Copenhagen, and I guess they also, well, I know they serve them at least in Copenhagen. It's one of their like flagship beers at their bars. It's a hoppy Pilsner, citrusy, lemony. It's got a kind of chalky feel. Not like as great as some of the Mckellar beers, but for what it is, it's quite nice. And it kind of fits the bill as a beer to have at their bars that everyone can enjoy. So, solid stuff. What do you think? Is it solid?
Well, it's alright.
It's a Pilsner. So this is the second beer of the tasting. It's the first canned beer I ever tried from Mckellar. It's Mckellar's Better Half, American IPA. It's brewed as, I think it was Sly Fox, right? Over in the US, yeah. And I don't know how fresh it is, but it does have that kind of old chili flavor. And I guess that's the problem with making it over in the US and getting it over here. But it has that old chili, kind of resiny, piney flavor with some caramelly, malty notes. I mean, it's still drinkable and fairly tasty, but go ahead and grab it, bro. Not as tasty as some of the other Mckellar IPAs you can get out there. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Do any of you guys agree?
Yeah.
It's quite boring.
Yeah, not the best Mckellar IPA. So this is the next beer, the Mckellar Orvel, the Orvel Tribute, and they make a lot of different barrel-aged versions. And our good friend, who's Nikolai, who's opening a beer bar, has actually got one of the barrel-aged version of it. Which barrel-aged version was it you had?
I think it's the Chardonnay, but it might be it might be the Sauvignon. I can't really remember. I ordered it 4 months ago, so.
Yeah, so that should be interesting to try because this is really good.
Yes.
So far, my highlight. Very funky, fruity funky. Like Orvel. What do you think, Lasse?
It's pretty awesome.
You talked about you really liked it.
Yeah, it's a very fresh beer, and I really enjoyed to drink it. It's the best one we have so far.
I agree.
I think so.
Yeah, so good stuff, guys. So this one, guys, is one I was not sure if it was going to be good or not. It's the Mckellar, oh, the lighting is very bad right now. The Mckellar Spontan Beetroot. It's a red beet lambic. Surprisingly good. The color on it is pretty nice. It kind of looks like Ribena, but nice and funky, tart. That Brettanomyces kind of oaky character, but it does have some beetroot flavor.
Definitely some fruit flavor.
Yeah, but you get a similar kind of tart beetroot, kind of like the pickled beetroots we get flavor to it. I actually think it's surprisingly good. I was afraid I would hate this.
Definitely the best one so far.
I agree, best one so far for sure. Interesting stuff. So this is the beer we're having before the break, and this is a newer release of the Monk's Brew, which was also called Monk's Elixir at one point. And I reviewed the old batch and the, I believe it was raspberry and bourbon version.
Yeah?
It's quite hot, so you definitely taste the alcohol. We talked about that it tastes more like an old ale, almost. It's not too Belgian-y, actually, for being like a quad or really strong ale, dark ale. but it's still pretty good. But I miss the barrel aged version of it though. They made some really cool barrel aged versions.
A bit more body on it would be nice.
But for me, this is still the best beer so far.
Yeah, definitely.
This is awesome.
It's not bad, but it's not what I expected.
No, yeah. Okay. This next beer is the Amas IPA, which is a West Coast IPA made specially for a restaurant here in Denmark. Lasse, what do you think? You love IPAs.
I love IPAs, and I think it's a very good one. It is not so hobby as I could hope, but I think it's very drinkable. A little cold though maybe, but I give it like this, a 70, 80. I think so, about that. It's very good. You should pick it up if you have the chance.
It's a nice West Coast IPA. You guys agree? The best hobby beer so far, I think.
It's very, I pick up a lot of citrus notes.
Kind of tropical.
Yeah, kind of tropical.
There it is. The next beer we're going to be having is Risku. And I remember that being awesome. And then we got some big light beers.
I especially like the Geek breakfast.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The last time I had it.
Why is there not barrel-aged vanilla shake? We just had the 3 points of Mckellar collab. Risku, a rice barley wine. What do you think, Stefan?
I think this is the first. It's categorized as a wheat wine, and I think that's very accurate. It tastes like a barley wine without the dark fruits. It got the sweet, but it's also fairly hoppy. I kind of like it, but it's not. It's very one-dimensional. I wouldn't buy it again, but it's nice first to try something like this.
I really like it because for me, the rice makes it a little bit thin, so it's almost like a double IPA for me, or maybe triple IPA kind of thing. I don't think it goes into barley wine territory because it's not huge and sweet. So we're back with a Mikkeller Classic Beer Geek breakfast. I love this beer. Lasse, you've had it a couple of times before. What do you think of it?
I have had this beer before, and I really enjoy it. This time is no exception. It's awesome. If you got the
so
chance,
much coffee.
Pick it up. You know, if you picture yourself like sitting like 10 a.m. having a breakfast, and you really want to go with coffee, but you really want that. Pick up this beer and have it for breakfast. This is the shit. It's like roasted coffee, vanilla, chocolate. This is just what you need like a Sunday morning.
Awesome
Pick it up,
beer.
man. I'll give this like a straight out of the 90.
Yeah, and we're going to have the Weasel version afterwards. And you've had the Weasel coffee yourself.
Yeah, in Vietnam.
So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with this. This is awesome. This is one of the best Mckellar beers ever made.
This is, if you're looking for like a coffee beer, this should be the one.
Yeah.
This is
Beer Geek breakfast
coffee.
rules.
Yeah. And the volume as well. It's pretty awesome. It's, what is
good
it?
stuff.
It's 7.5 volume by alcohol. It's pretty decent for a beer like this.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is awesome.
This is a Mikkeller Classic. Which one is it?
It's the Mckellar Beer Geek Brunch Weasel, and I love this beer.
I can see that.
It's
fucking
almost,
awesome.
It's almost on par with the Bourbon County Stouts. I love the coffee, I love the chocolate, I love the vanilla, I love the alcohol, I love the warmth, the intensity. It's just a fucking brilliant beer I can drink every day, all day.
Wow, you just took the words out of my mouth. This is amazing. And for a big ass beer on 10.9%, it is so drinkable.
It's so drinkable. It's almost, on 10.9, it's almost a session beer in terms of imperial stouts.
I think we just hit it for the best beer.
Yeah, yeah.
If you've never had this beer and you want to try one of these, there's a lot of breweries doing beers with Kopiluwak or Weasel coffees. Get the Mckellar Beer Geek Brunch because it's one of the best around. It's fucking amazing and it's reasonably priced, at least in Denmark. It's a beer you can afford compared to other, like some of the other Weasel beers they release are quite expensive. I love it as well. It's one of my favorite Mckellar beers. Have you ever had the barrel-aged version? They just released a new one.
I don't know, at CBC maybe, but you know, when you drink 40 beers in a weekend, you can't remember.
Yeah.
I probably have it, but I can't remember.
But they got a new release of it here, locally. You can buy it here at the store.
Okay.
Bourbon
No.
barrel-aged.
Then I don't know, I haven't tried
Is
that.
it good? Have you had it? Okay. But yeah, awesome stuff. Probably the best beer we've had so far. I don't think Black Hole will beat it, but Brunch Weasel is probably, in general, the Weasel and Geek series from Mckellar is pretty sick.
And the shit in it.
Huh?
And the shit in it.
Yeah.
Coffee shit in it. Woo!
We're ending the tasting with the strongest beer of them all. Well, not of them all, but for the tasting, it's a 13.1% Imperial Stout. Oh, god damn it. It's Black Hole. You saw my review of this back in the day, and as you know, I've reviewed every single variation of it, and I love them. But this new batch feels to me quite different. It's kind of tart and alcoholic compared to the original batches.
It's gone bad, and you're trying to cover it up.
That might be true. But the original batches were more sweet and, you know, roasty and toasty and huge. This is like tart phenolic, almost vinous, and not as big and bold. So I don't really know what's going on with that. I still think it tastes good, but this is still my favorite. The Weasel. What do you guys think, and what do you think of the tasting in general?
Good. I would like to see a bit more barrel aged for the price, but
I agree.
yeah, and I've tasted 80% of the beers before, but hey, it's Mckellar. It's good, so I'm happy.
Yeah, a bit more of the more special kinds of beers. I feel that the ones that we tasted tonight have been, middle of the road, pretty much for Mckellar anyway.
Yeah. It's not been any of the crazy stuff we tried at CBC.
Oh, no.
But that might have something to do with the audience here as well. Because the rest of the audience doesn't really like the stuff we like. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, they're a bit more timid, a bit more like not so.
Well, we had a comment about it earlier, so.
Yeah, they're not as experimental. They don't like the sour. They don't like the extreme beer. So maybe the wrong crowd for the most part. But hey, we'll just drink what they can't. Fuck it.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do now, right?
Yeah.
Drink what the others can.
Drink to the drop, motherfucker.
Good idea. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
And have a good night.